Lester, I don't know if I'm getting through to you, and this is gonna be the last try. The reason why they want the shaman to come. Now, this is gonna go to Jamie. Jamie, say you ask me to come to your home, invited me for dinner, but I'm afraid I'm going to offend you. I accept the offer, but I'm afraid I'm going to offend you when I eat your food. That I might put sauce on it or salt on it, or I might not like it. So in the fear of not offending you, I choose to cook my own meal. And I cook plenty for myself and for all of you. That way I don't offend you by, not offering you what I've cooked. I'm afraid I'm going to offend you by sitting by your table. At your table. That's your family's table. I don't want to offend you. So I bring my own table and my own chairs. I'm afraid I'm going to offend you by dirtying your dishes. So I bring my own dishes and my own serving utensils. And I get to your place and I offer you my food and you graciously accept it. But the instant you offer me your food, I say, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. Did I offend you? You spent a whole day cooking a meal for me in hopes I would like it. Setting a table for me in hopes it was welcoming. Preparing your home for me. And I chose to bring my own meal, my own plates, my own table. Did I offend you? The land you are on needs to heal. People after people after people, including Sharon and whatever his name is, have put band-aids on it. But every time it passes on to another person, the wound is reopened. They're putting a band-aid on something that needs stitches. Lester, you are not going to live forever, and neither is Jamie. At some point in time, that land will pass to your children. And at that point in time, the wound will reopen. Because nobody is willing to eat the food or be welcomed by the Native American people who are trying to be good hosts. They love them ostriches. The children play and dance with them. So do the women. The 60 or 40-year-old, 6-foot-tall Native American with the soft deerskin shirt, and it's not a bone chest plate. It's a beading on the front. It is beaded into his shirt. It looks like a bone chest plate, but it's not. It's beading that has been meticulously designed and beaded into that shirt. Now the tribe chose me the joy of being with the ostriches, the joy of their time on that land. Now I need you to ask yourself something. Why aren't they still on that land? That land held everything they needed. It held plenty. Everything they needed. Why did they leave it? What was it that forced them to leave it? Do you think it was that pleasant? I don't know the history of the area, but I do know that when I feel why they had to leave, I feel pain. I feel fear. They need to heal the land to stop that. Because every time it passes on to a new person, it is like when they were run off the land. They feel it. They want you to heal it. They want to see that you welcome them as much as they welcome you. They want to see that you welcome their tribe as much as they welcome you. They want to see their people on the land again and welcomed there. They would love to see a yearly celebration during harvest time. I don't know what they do during harvest time. But apparently it entails some dancing. And they'd love to have that. But they understand they can't have that. But they can have the one ceremony. One day. One day of that ceremony and one day of the tribe telling you their story. Not just some story that some white man wrote in a history book. Their story. That's what they want. But you want to bring your own plates. You want to bring your own food. You want to bring your own table. You want to bring your own chair. Because you're afraid of offending them. It is not that what you are doing is wrong. It is that in the fear of not offending them, you are offending them. And you're doing yourself a disservice. Now, the other thing I have been shown is your grandfather said that as long as he is on that land will stay Maro land. And when it is no longer to be Maro land, somehow he will no longer be in that cemetery. But it won't be because somebody came along and tried to graciously offer to move that cemetery at their expense. It'll be his choice. Now those developers are doing what they are doing to try and chase you out. But as long as that cemetery is there and the family does not okay the move of that cemetery, they can't. They can't declare eminent domain as long as you do not allow them graves to be moved. So don't allow it. I don't care if they come in and say, oh, for your family's peace of mind and your loved one's rest, we should move the cemetery and we will pay to do it. Don't do it. I don't care how you've got to keep that there. Keep it there. I don't care if you've got to figure out where they're dumping their waste after construction. Bring it to the land and build the biggest berm you can build around your farm that will keep the flood water out, that would end up flooding them before it floods you. Do it! Whatever it takes. Which also means that you can never allow your property to look like it's in disrepair. Because the instant it does, they're going to try to declare eminent domain on your property. Don't allow it. Your grandfather was right. If he ever leaves that land will no longer be Morrow land. Your family will lose it. And that's all I know I've been told. Now, what you do with it is up to you. I can't force you to do anything. I can only tell you what I've been told. And I can only tell you that just like when I was being told that something was going to happen with a dream that every time I touched somebody, they turned into a gas and died. And I had to live in a cubby with everybody else who scrambled there with me. And I could feel the pain and the suffering outside that cubby. And I had to have everything I needed to survive. And as long as I continued to prepare my home for that, the dream would not come. But the instant I laxed off, the dream came. And then about a few months before COVID hit, my home was prepared to where I didn't have to leave for anything. I could buy furniture, I could buy food, I could buy anything I wanted. I could get in my home without leaving my home or interacting with any other person. And then COVID hit. And the dream went away. There is one thing it did leave. The sense that in 2025, it will happen again. It will either be a mutation of this virus or it will be a new virus. And we've got to be prepared. And as an empath, I feel the pain. I feel the tribe's pain. And I don't want to feel it for the next 30 years. I don't want 30 more years of it. So do as you choose. But if you do the easy way out, you're just putting a Band-Aid on it. And yes, I know I probably don't have 30 years left. I'm 58 now. I'll be lucky if I get 20. Do as you choose. Either choose to go the way in where you're afraid to offend them, or choose to go in the way that you choose to respect them and learn from them. That is your choice. But I need you to know what that choice brings. It will put a band-aid on that wound that needs stitches. And that band-aid will suffice for as long as you are on that land. But the moment you leave that land, either through your passing and passing it to your children or through sales, that wound will reopen. And the tribe will live this cycle again. And that wound needs to be healed between the settlers and the Native Americans. And that's all I've been told. It is a healing that is needed from the settlers to the Native Americans. Take what you will from that. And decide to either put a band-aid on it or decide to heal the land. Because they want to do the joy. They want to keep feeling the joy. So take what you want from that and make your choice. And you know what your choice brings. On one hand, you heal the land permanently, and the tribe gets some peace, and so do I. On the other hand, you leave the wound ready to be opened again. And me and the tribe won't rest. Because they'll keep on coming and asking me to ask you to do what's needed to be done. So please think about it.